Hello all, and welcome to El Nuclear. So a while ago I made a video talking about the MoFi Sourcepoint 8 speakers. And at that time, I only planned on using them with a digital signal path as a second system, a bedroom system, which I would use for Blu-rays and CD, so I could just have something to enjoy in a different room. That was the objective. I never expected to add a turntable, but I decided to do that because I was really enjoying the sound of these speakers. So I wanted to see how they would deliver using an analog signal path. So I decided to go. I found a Project Debut Carbon Evo on sale. So I bought that. I had a few upgrades. I already had an existing Sumiko Amethyst cartridge, and I was able to acquire a subplatter and the acrylic platter. So I created a pretty solid turntable from these components, and I'm now using that as well with the Sourcepoint 8. So what am I hearing? I'm also, the fact that I've been listening to these speakers now for a while, I felt I could talk about this a little bit more extensively because now I've experienced them for a significant period of time. So let's just say, first of all, that these are very robust sounding speakers. So when you use them with a digital signal path, it is a good match because it's kind of improving the harshness that you can sometimes experience with digital, with CDs especially. And if you're using streaming and compact disc, this is a good choice because it kind of creates a little bit more of an analog flavor to your digital recording, your digital output. Because of the sonic signature, in particular, the mid-range is very rich, very, you hear a lot of mid-range detail. You might associate a bass player with low-end reproduction of sound, but when bass players play melodically and they play melodic bass lines, sometimes that's kind of entering into the more of the mid-range space, and I'm noticing that these speakers deliver that extremely well and produce a very detailed yet warm presentation when it comes to mid-range and some of those bass lines that just kind of come out from the bottom end. It's really cool. That imaging is really, really good. The soundstage in general of these speakers, maybe because it's a tweeter in the center of a cone and not separate tweeter mid-range bass cones, maybe that has something to do with the fact that the soundstage is pleasing, but maybe not quite as widescreen as some tower speakers I hear. But what I do recommend is separating these speakers as much as you can in your room. If you can get them 7 feet apart, you're going to get a really nice soundstage. So these speakers thrive on placement. Placement is going to be maybe a little picky, but when you get it good, you're going to get an extremely nice sweet spot, and you're going to really enjoy the complement of warmth, robustness, detail, and sound staging. All of it really works well. And with the analog signal coming from the turntable, it is a really nice, warm, engaging sound that draws you in. It's very natural, and yet you still have enough of those details to please people that want to hear that high-end kind of it's not enhancement, but it's definitely just enough to give you that sense of high definition. So well balanced in that regard. After listening to these things for a long time, I maintain that opinion. And I just want to make sure I make it very clear that it is really a good choice for digital as well because of those sonic signature elements. It's just a very warm speaker, and that mid-range highlight I think is really good when it comes to digital signal. I think it helps the sound a little bit more analog, a little warmer. Another thing that I noticed with these speakers is that they portray acoustic guitar in a very interesting way. It's almost as if the acoustic instruments have been strung with a thicker gauge string. There's a thickening to the sound of acoustic guitar, whether arpeggio, strumming, whatever it is. You sense a certain. It's not as delicate sounding as you might hear in a traditional speaker, where the acoustic guitar sounds more feather light. In this particular speaker, I noticed that acoustic guitar is a little heavy-handed. It's a little bit thick sounding, and that's not bad. I don't want to say it's bad. It's just a different thing, and it might have something to do with that mid-range being so rich. You kind of get this feeling that acoustic guitars sound not as soft touch. It's a little heavier, a little bit more robust as well, the way the strings sound. Just something I noticed, maybe something you have noticed too if you have these speakers or have auditioned these speakers. So it's an interesting characteristic. I don't dislike it. It's just something I've noticed. So that is what I have to say about the Sourcepoint 8 in conjunction with a vinyl record player as compared to the CD signal path and how it's performing after listening to these now for a significant amount of time. So from then to now, my opinion has not changed. I feel that the high end, the tweeter delivers just enough detail without being harsh. The mid-range is solid, robust, and very, very present. And a little bit of help from a subwoofer is ideal. I don't think it requires a lot of help. A touch, a little bit of finessing of a subwoofer. Doesn't have to be a very expensive one. I'm getting good results using very minimal amount of help from a small subwoofer. And in this medium-sized room, I would say it is just enough. I'm getting just enough low end. I'm happy with it. So that's what I want to say about this speaker. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you enjoy yourself and your whatever music you're listening to. That is it. Thank you, and take care. Bye.